Hey guys, Drutter here. It's the 3rd of April 2013, and before I get into my silver coverage, just a couple of things wanted to mention, sort of a vlog style video. The first thing is my video from a few days ago, Canada prepares to enact Cyprus-style bank bail-ins. And when I did that, I wasn't sure even if I had really stumbled onto something for real. No one else had really reported on this, and I had found the information just by going through the Canada's Action Plan 2013, which was released about a week ago. And in reading through there, I found the part about bail-ins, and it says in no uncertain terms that if Canada's too big to fail banks start to be in trouble, we'll just take the money from the people. And that's really what it says. When I uploaded the video, I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, that's it. I've done a lot of research since then, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And the most disturbing part about it is it's not just Canada. It's the UK. It's the US, it's all of Europe, it's all of North America, it's most of South America, it's most of Africa, it's most of Asia, it's down under, it's everywhere. They are doing this, and any nation that has a central bank controlled by, the three main banking families that have been around for hundreds of years, which is, I think, almost every nation in the world except for 2 or 3, is going to be doing the bail-ins. And it's been written into a lot of financial and economic documentation and legal paperwork. If you go and do a search for it, you'll find it. They've been mentioning this since 2011, in some cases 2010. And it's only just sort of all being put into motion now, but it has been set up for years, at least a couple of years. I did a little more digging, and it's all there. You can go and have a look yourself, and I invite you to do so. So this is not just Canada, it's not just Cyprus, and it's not just New Zealand and Spain and the other countries that have openly said they're coming out and doing it. It is everywhere. And at the G20 last year, that's what they decided when they met, and they said, what should we do? Well, we should take the people's money. And that is what they're going to do. They're going to take the people's, currency out of their bank accounts. It's not a joke. It's not wrong. And the video has 2,300 views. This is a train wreck happening in slow motion before our very eyes. And only 2,373 people care enough to know about this, I guess. I sent an email to my parents. I never send an email to my parents about any of the stuff I talk about on my channel. And I said, the last time I said anything to them was when silver and gold were less than half what they are even now. And I said to them, you may want to consider silver and gold. And they didn't. Now, this is the only other time I've mentioned any of this stuff to my parents. And I emailed them and I said, just so you know, and I know you guys just retired, you are at the pinnacle of your cash savings. I don't want to see you wiped out, and I'm just letting you know that Canada can do the same thing that Cyprus did, and they've just announced it. And I didn't get a response. Because as soon as you start talking about this stuff, their eyes glaze over, and that's just the end of it. They get that thought in their head, oh, he's talking about the crazy stuff again. Okay, switch off, ignore. So, it's frustrating. It's frustrating that it's happening to my family, and it's frustrating that it's happening to strangers I don't even know. I don't want to see this happen. I don't want to see the banks win. And they are setting up for the win. As if they don't already have the win, But this is just the next step. And doesn't seem like anyone's paying attention, doesn't seem like anyone's caring. It's not just Canada, it's every nation in the world except who don't have central banks that are controlled by the Rothschilds and those banking families. Everyone else, your cash is as good as gone. If you don't have it in your hand, it's gone. And even if you get that cash in hand, they can destroy the purchasing power of that cash. So, please pay attention to this issue. Here's another issue that needs our attention. I know there's so many of them, I'm sorry, but the UN General Assembly has just approved a sweeping, first-of-its-kind treaty aimed at regulating the estimated $60 billion in international small arms trade. So, they are coming after the guns, and this doesn't require permission from the member states, for example, the United States, in order to pass. And in fact, it has already passed. It's done. So, this is, a lot of people are talking about this possibly having implications of gun registration coming to the USA and other countries, of course, anyone who's a member of the UN. And in my opinion, no one should be a member of the UN, but, this is world government sort of without saying world government. I'm not a citizen of the UN. I'm a citizen of Canada. And yet, because Canada is a member of the UN, I'm going to have to accept the UN's treaty and submit to control and regulation of weapons. And I think that's really, really dangerous. So I will put the link down below if you haven't been made aware of this story. Now you are. There's been a lot of heavy topics lately, especially even in this video. So I thought I would just do something a little lighter and throw on some metal porn. So I have a few copper coins here and I have a few silver coins in my hand as well. But I thought I would first compare the different tones that the metals make. So here's copper. Okay, not bad. Here's silver. Ooh. Ooh. Seems to have a longer lasting sound. Maybe it depends on the coin. Let's grab a different one here. The big copper one. Oh, there's just something better about the silver. I wonder if brass instruments would have been made out of silver instead of copper if there was enough silver available to make it, all those tubas and trombones and things out of silver. Anyhow, just throw a few of those in there. What do you got? Some dimes and things. Silver dimes. Sprinkle a bit of those. So that's a bit too many there. Okay, yeah, move those over there. There we go. That's a bit better. And then, yeah, just move those there. Put this one, let's see, up top. I think we need a bit more copper on this side here, so throw those ones down. Some of these are brass and some of these are bronze. It's just different alloys of copper. So you get different colors in there. That's nice. Maybe something a bit darker. Put that down there. Another darker one over here. A bit more silver, I think, up here. There's one of those. Some of those. Some silver takes on a really interesting tone. I'm not sure where to put that one. It's too bright. There we go. Put that up there. This is what I do when you guys aren't around. I do this stuff. Most of my day is taken up by arranging coins on the floor and admiring them. Let's see. What do we got here? Some of those. I'm not sure if I like this copper and silver combination. Well, maybe I do. It's fairly attractive. Let's see. Put some of those there. Ooh, what? Oh! You idiot. Sorry about that, guys. I'll cut that out if I remember. And let's see what we got here. Pennies. What do we need? Need a bit more copper in this sector here. And some of those. And then just a couple silver ones on top, maybe, running out here. And a couple of those. So I'll move that there and then sort of dump that like that. And put those maybe there. And that there. Let's see what else. Well, we got some more of these. Sprinkle just a few darker pennies here and there just to give it a bit more character. And I think that's about it. Perfect. There's the 1 hour chart. Each bar is 1 hour, of course. And recently we came sort of for a soft landing here, down fairly steep and then evened out and then sort of just flattened out at 28. And then we had this, and this, and this, and this. And that led to a slide which sort of bottomed here, but then wait a second, maybe it didn't bottom there. It actually bottomed at 26.60 something. And here we are now, maybe trying to make another new low, not sure. Let's go look at the 5 hourly chart, and there you see that major move and the bounce. And you can see sort of a little bit further back where we were much flatter there for, well, a very long time. And now this moved down, and then we can look at the daily chart. Here's the last few days. There's that flat area, and then of course we were back up here. Go a little further back to last year when QE3 was announced, right here at 35. QE3 to infinity! And silver has never recaptured that price point. That's when I last bought a decent amount. Of course, I have to buy here and there for my business, so I'm always buying technically, but this is where I last bought for myself, and yeah, that was about $10 an ounce ago. So QE3 is certainly not having the effect that most people thought it would have in this market. I guess those dollars are not finding their way into precious metals. They're landing somewhere else, in banks, I guess. But yeah, we've had this drop, this drop, this drop, and then almost another. It looks like, you know, the same duration of time between these moves. Doing, 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 and then plop. So let's go look at a longer term chart. There it is, the weekly chart, and of course showing the move up to 50 we had, and we can draw in that trend line we've done hundreds of times, and yeah, we were hanging on here just barely at the $29 level, and then over the past few days it's just fallen to nothing. So that 4+ year trend line that silver has been on has been completely taken out and obliterated, unless this somehow gets back above $30 by the end of the week, and that's not going to happen. So this trend line is gone. And what's next? Well, let's go back to the other chart and go to daily. Now let's go to weekly. There we go. Okay, what's next for support lines? We had this test of 26 and change. I think it was 26.30 here. Another test here at 26 something. Another one here that you can't see because this is a weekly chart and it only shows the weekly moves. But there was a point when it came down to 26 here. There was one here, another one there, 3 or 4 there. And now this most recent one here. Here we are at 26 and change yet again. So this is the maybe 7th or 8th major test of this support line since we broke through it, which was, what's that say? November 2010 is when we finally broke through that $26, $27 level. And now that's actually when I first did that video. Fuck you for not believing in silver. I'd just like to say, fuck you to anyone who told me that I was on the wrong track, that I was not doing my research correctly. Well, ironically, silver came back to that 27 there, and there. So yeah, I'm kind of eating crow a little bit there because I was exuberant here at 27 when I'd been following silver since $11, and here we were at 27, and we had almost triple what it had been when I started, and that was when I got really excited about that. And we have tested that exact 26, 27 level 7 or 8 times, and here we are again. So can we break through it this time? Don't know. Incredible to see the volume of silver being sold right now. It is just insane how much silver bullion is being sold. This, of course, is the chart that is not keeping track of silver bullion prices. This is keeping track of an ETF on an exchange, which is tracking an unlimited piece of paper. And there's as many of them as they want there to be. Silver, of course, is not unlimited. It's finite. And just how finite, we're not sure, but we know that there isn't an unlimited amount on this planet. So until we learn to mine distant stars, we are stuck with the silver we have here, and it is an incredibly useful metal. How useful? Well, I guess it was really, really useful there, and only half as useful now, or something. Or maybe there are some other forces. Maybe this isn't a free market after all, for example. But yeah, here we are testing the 26 and change level once again. Do I think it's bottomed here? I doubt it. When you see a bottom and you think it's the bottom, it's not necessarily likely to be the bottom. It's going to probably come down a little bit further. Will it come back down to 26 and maintain this 2+ year support line? Maybe. But most likely what's going to happen is it's going to take that out and make some kind of lower low. As Bitcoin reaches $147 a Bitcoin, and as the Dow and the S&P and other stocks all make brand new highs, all-time highs. And silver and gold, bullion, are making all-time highs in sales. It's just that they're making lows in the price. What that tells us is that it probably can't last for all that long. and we know that the miners are producing silver out of the ground for somewhere between $15 and $30 an ounce each. So those that were in the higher end towards 30 or more are now out of business, and they're not producing any more silver. So of course that just drives down the supply of actual metal, which is already being driven down by humongous investment demand, unprecedented all-time high investment demand. So this is a really interesting time, and perhaps this is a good time to bring this up. I've been waiting for the right time to mention this, and I think this is probably a good spot. This channel is not necessarily about silver going up. This channel is about silver. So when silver goes down, I talk about that. When silver goes up, I talk about that. And when silver goes sideways, I talk about that as well. I see myself more as a commentator and a reporter and an analyzer than really as a predictor or a fanboy of anything, really. I have lost a lot of the emotion that comes with investing and comes with following markets and things like that. It's just, you can't go and be 100% emotional about this stuff day in and day out and continue that way for years and years and years. And I've been in this for years now, and it's becoming less an emotional thing for me, although I am excited. In fact, right now I'm excited. I'm excited to see these lows because it is interesting to me. It interests me greatly. Yes, I do have a small stack of my own of precious metals, and I do believe in precious metals as money and as a way of getting out of the corrupt banking system that we have now. But my investment in that, if you could call it an investment, is really for the very long term, the ultra long term. I'm investing for my kids' college funds in 10 or 15 years. I'm investing for my own retirement in, say, I don't know, 25, 35 years. I'm not investing for a quick buck. I'm not investing over the short term. I was buying at pretty much every point on this chart, as well as if you go back, it doesn't show, but if you go back, I was investing as well at about $10 or $11. And, you know, is it really investing? I don't know if you can even call it that. It's more like just picking up a couple of bucks worth of silver here and there. But like I said, I've gotten rid of most of the emotions involved with it, and I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm excited to see what happens with things like Bitcoin, because that's a new currency that's just sort of been born, and we'll want to see how that turns out. I don't necessarily endorse it or support it. I don't even own any Bitcoin. But boy, is it ever interesting. And so is silver, and so is gold, and so are US dollars, and Canadian dollars, and yen, and yuan, and platinum, and copper, and nickel, and food, and weapons, and tools, and knowledge, and connections, and paper rectangles, and metal discs. I'm interested in currency, and money, and the difference between the two, and I'm also very interested in things like value. I'm going to continue learning about these things, and I hope you'll join me and continue learning about them as well. You can teach me, I can teach you, we can teach each other, and I don't think it needs to be a competition. You know, when silver goes down, we have to get upset or angry. When silver goes up, we have to get excited and, you know, competitive with each other. It's okay, maybe that's how some people do it, but that's not how I do it. And you can be whoever you want on my channel if you want to, but I'm just letting you know that I'm really here to learn, to commentate, to observe, and to be interested in it. And I think I'm getting a lot out of it, and I hope other people are too. But no, this is not an investing channel. You certainly will not get rich quick in precious metals. You may not ever get rich in precious metals. I see precious metals as a store of value, the best store of value, in fact. There is nothing better than precious metals for storing value. And that's what money has to be. It has to be a store of value. So there is no other metal that can touch gold and silver and some of the other precious metals and semi-precious metals in terms of holding value. There just isn't. But in the same regard, there's things that silver and gold can't do. I can't take a small piece of gold, say $5 worth, and send it to a guy in the UK in 15 seconds. I can't do that with gold. It's impossible. So until we have a transporter device or something, then we have things like currency, which can be transported very quickly and easily through the internet or through the banking system or through the phone lines even, and we can move currency from one place to another, and that is a way of transferring value from one place to another. Currency doesn't hold value in the long term, but it certainly can be used to transfer value here and there. Gold and silver are the way that we store value over time, and nothing else can touch them in that regard. So to feel threatened by Bitcoin or US dollars or Zimbabwe dollars or any kind of other currency that exists out there is silly from a gold and silver standpoint. We don't have to feel threatened by that. It doesn't compete with us. It's not even really in the same ballpark, except that they both are ways of transferring and or storing value. Anyhow, I probably should just leave it there. I could rant on and on and on forever in this kind of a format. So, yeah, 2669. Let's take an approach of being interested in seeing what happens, being excited for the future, being excited for positive change coming, being excited for having something of value in our possession that can't be taken away, that no one even knows that we have, and that is the best store of value that humanity has ever known, and perhaps ever will. Anyhow, I appreciate you listening to my rambling. I will talk to you soon.